Am I the asshole for telling my sister that it's too late for apologies? My sister and her 2 kids moved in with us after she was facing homeless after being evicted from her place. She has become very clingy with me. I have to repeatedly tell her my wife and I are not watching you kids. We gave you a place to stay. We have to constantly remind her to clean up after her and her children and not let her kids destroy things. She's been envious if my wife and I go out. And has made comments like that must be nice if my wife buys new clothes or something designer. She has been repeatedly talked to about this and told to stop. Last night my wife and I went on a date night to go out and see a live show and get sushi. My sister is waiting up of us close to 1 a.m. and yells at us how we didn't bring her the kids something. How it is so mean that we flaunt our lifestyle while her kids are struggling and the least we could do is bring her and her kids home something. It's 1 a.m. Her kids aren't even awake. My sister said she deserves a little treat time to time and more say around the home. My wife flips on her and tells my sister she needs to move out ASAP. She doesn't want her toxic ass in her home anymore, and if she's not out in 30 days she will be getting the courts and child services involved to remove them from the home. And my wife told my sister how she's a mentally unstable, unfit mother. My sister acted like I would protect her and she called my wife a bitch and saying I wouldn't let that happen. I told my sister my wife can do as she wants and it's her home too. My sister is the one who made herself unwelcome. My sister didn't apologize but made us breakfast this morning and my wife threw the plate of food away and told my sister 29 days. My wife left to go speak to one of her cousins who is a lawyer this morning. My sister acted all innocent in front of her kids who could tell their aunt's attitude was off. My sister tried apologizing to me after my wife left and I told her it's probably too late for that because my wife is getting the official paperwork now. Not the asshole. Your sister's actions have created a toxic environment in your home, and it's valid that your wife wants her gone. Your wife has every right to set boundaries and feel safe and respected in her own home. Your sister's behavior has been consistently ungrateful, disrespectful, and manipulative. Where does your sister get her absurd sense of entitlement? Almost sounds like you two came from different sets of parents. It would enhance the narrative if you included the ages of all involved. Even so, you are not the asshole. She wants a brother baby daddy. She thinks she's equal to your wife. Or above your wife apparently. Are you willing to take care of your sister like a wife for the rest of your life? No? Then help your wife evict them. Not the asshole but you will be if you let them stay. Serve that eviction notice in writing ASAP, not the asshole. Not the asshole. She called my wife a bitch and saying I wouldn't let that happen. Thank you, Op. You handled this exactly correctly. Your sister is acting in an incredibly disrespectful and sexist manner to your wife. Your wife has every right to act on this unacceptable behavior in her home and you did great in supporting her and refusing to let your sister try to drive a wedge between you two. Not the asshole. Your sister got her chance and instead of being thankful she destroyed it by her actions. After multiple warnings. I agree with your wife. And by the way, your sister is not sorry. She is just trying to save her ass. If you let her stay, the same scenario will continue soon. Am I the asshole for telling my cousin to leave after she called me out of touch? I, 35M, am a surgeon. I've been considering looking at some job offers I've been receiving, and when my cousin, 30F, came for the day, we got on the topic of work-related stuff and I brought up the topic of one of the offers I've been considering. I said I was considering taking a new job, and I didn't tell them every detail, but I told them a reason why I might not be taking the job, which is call pay. The job offer I was discussing offers $500 per night of call, for 7 days of call a month, and my cousin said, "Isn't that good?" To which I said no. I even said that the amount was kind of bullshit, since most places, including mine, are advertising me $2,000 $2,500 of call per night. My cousin said that I just do nothing during that time anyways, and that it was out of touch for me to say that. That statement kind of erupted into an argument to which I just told her to leave if she wanted to continue the argument and she did. My wife got a bit upset with me over the whole thing, saying that it was stupid, so I'm asking here to see if I'm the a-hole. Edited. Changed to not the asshole after OP's comments. Info. Why does your cousin presume to tell you what you do during on call, and why would she be able to judge what is good and what is not? Does she work in your field? ETA. Arguing with you in your own home is not a good look, so if she didn't know what she was talking about, can it be jealousy at a lower paying job? ETA 2. In case this wasn't clear from the context, the cousin arguing in Op's house isn't a good look, combined with arguing about his job when she likely doesn't know better, because that's rude. Change to not the asshole because the cousin seems to be unnecessarily argumentative in Op's home. I'm assuming, because you are on call, you won't be able to do anything else. Essentially, you are in a holding pattern in case of an emergency. It's an opportunity cost. And they're paying you not to do other things so that you can be ready for an emergency. I don't think your cousin understands that. Honestly, not the asshole. You're just telling her what the facts are. You'd be out of touch if you did settle for the job that paid significantly less. Not the asshole. I think the problem is she thinks you are sort of saying, $500 is such a small amount of money, and if she has financial difficulties, it's pretty insensitive. You weren't attempting to insult her, however to her it would have sounded crazy for you to say that's not a good amount of pay. Even if it's undervaluing you. But you explained the proper pay, and she still didn't agree. She was just being an AH. Not the asshole but from one physician to another, just don't discuss pay with people outside of medicine. You will always look like the jerk to people who don't understand what you do. Not the asshole if she'd called you out of touch and you immediately showed her the door. Yeah, that'd be an asshole move. Instead, you tried to explain that you're looking for a job that offers the market standard for call pay. It's your employer's time, not yours, and you have to be ready and able to rush to work at a moment's notice. When you'd had it with the arguing over something she's actually got no basis to speak on, you asked her to leave if she wanted to keep arguing. Clearly she wanted to keep arguing, so she left. Am I the asshole for telling my cousin she killed my cat with her kids in the room? TW, pet death. Update. Thank you for the responses. This is all a bit overwhelming right now, and after this I think I'm going to step away from this post. I've read all of your comments and appreciate them. I do have a bit more information, and though it doesn't help, it does give some answers. First, I do want to say that my little cousins are not bad kids. Please don't say bad things about them. Daniela's oldest daughter is 11 and has a cell phone, so I texted her to apologize about losing it in front of her. From that I found a few things out. Being rough with the cat really meant that the youngest, 4 female, went to pick her up and Buttons swatted at her. She didn't try again. Like I said, they are not bad kids. Though my mother is not a good person, she was under the impression that Buttons had run out the door when my aunt was coming in. According to my little cousin, she reacted the way she did because she thought it was an accident. However, she and my aunt are still talking about how I shouldn't have acted how I did. My aunt is the one who put Buttons outside, though Daniela was aware and agreed it was best. My aunt does not like animals and has never had a pet. She assumed that Buttons would be fine. So that's it. Again, I appreciate all of your comments, but it's just too much and I'm going to step away. I'm going to speak with my therapist about going no contact with that side of the family, even if it's just temporary. Blank. My 22 female parents are currently going through a nasty divorce, and I now live with my dad and grandmother. Before my parents split, I had a wonderful cat named Buttons, but my mother refused to let me take her with me. This was hard because I've had her since she was a kitten and she was nearly 10. My parents' divorce has a lot to do with her side of the family, and we recently found out that she moved my aunt, Brenda, cousin, Daniela, and her husband, and their 3 young kids in. My father is pretty upset about this because he is still paying most of the bills while waiting for the proceedings. Well, apparently Daniela's kids were being very rough with Buttons and they, mostly her, decided she would be better as an outside cat. I found this out when I went to the home with my grandmother to get some of the stuff I left behind, and she was deceased near the road. I'm not proud to admit that I stormed into the home screaming, which is when I was told why she was outside. The entire family was at the table having lunch and Brenda stood and started berating me for coming into their house with attitude. That's when I turned to Daniela and told her that she was the reason my cat was dead and that I hated her. Her kids started bawling as they apparently didn't know yet, and my mother kicked me out of the house and told me I wasn't welcome back. My grandmother went back in and collected my things for me. I'm still very much upset, but I'm also starting to feel awful for doing all of that in front of the kids.
They didn't do anything wrong, and I know I probably traumatized them with what I said.
I'm still struggling hard and this is just making it worse. I'll take whatever judgment you have, I just need an outside perspective. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You are a much better human than I in this instance.
I would be tempted to have brought buttons inside and laid her on the table for your mother, Daniela, and her little bits to view and truly grasp that they directly caused her death, thereby killing her. This hits close to home as my father remarried and the wife and children thought our 2 cats should be indoor, outdoor. Disney and Duffy were gone within 2 weeks. There is no ignorance to be claimed. Putting an indoor cat out of doors for any reason at any point in its life is a death sentence and the human removing the cat? The executioner.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Op.
You're not the asshole and never could be in this situation.
In my opinion, your anger should be directed at your mother. She is the one who didn't let you take the car. Why? She is the one who invited in the aunt and cousin and kids. She was the one who didn't object to it being an outdoors cat.
She is the one who had responsibility for its well-being.
Not the asshole.
The kids need to know that any future pets they may acquire won't be safe there.
Not the asshole. Jesus, you are surrounded by horrible people. Cut contact immediately.
They were ruse enough to let a house pet stay outside. They would not hesitate it with people either. Leave. Traumatizing kids unnecessarily is automatically bad. The response arose from sudden acute trauma and from an unforgivable act. It also serves to show the kids what a piece $hash and thing that was to do and their mom for doing it.
I'm sure the second part will be met with disapproval.
In my view, however, sometimes compassion has to be learned from emotional consequences after being desensitized or taught that it is okay to do uncompassionate things.
Due to these mitigating factors, I'm on team not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Everyone would have an attitude when they found out their pet died or rather got killed.
I think the others are in the wrong because they are mad at you being mad, after you found your cat dead.
Am I the asshole for refusing to personally dress my children in outfits that my husband likes but I don't?
Throwaway account. I, 32 female, have 2 children, Theo, 2 male, and Chloe, 0.8 female, with my husband, Todd, 30 male. I loathe neon colors.
Absolutely cannot. It's great if other people like it, but there is something about it for me that irks my soul.
I refuse to wear it and therefore refuse to dress my children in it. Todd knows this and has given me stuff in neon whenever he wants to do a joke. Whatever, it's his money that I'm donating to Goodwill or tossing into the trash. I've even told him explicitly that I will never love him enough to wear it for him, which he laughs off, but I'm only half joking.
When Theo was born, I wasn't as far as I would have liked to have been in my career, but I got a promotion and now that I have the money I've been going a little overboard in dressing my kids up in cute outfits and taking pictures.
Not to post on social media but for baby books and stuff.
I blame my mom and grandma for this. One day while we were out as a family we came across a clothing store and I saw a cute little dress for my daughter, so we went in to buy it. While there, on the clearance rack, there was this neon green one-piece that caught my husband's eye.
He showed it to me and asked if this would fit Theo. I just stared at him and told Todd to look at our son and then look at what he was holding, and he accurately determined that it was too small but then said it looked like it would fit Chloe perfectly. It does look it would, but I wasn't gonna tell him. Todd asked if we could get it and I gave a quick and firm no, but when he asked why I simply said that I wasn't going to dress my daughter in that and told him to put it back. That's what triggered the "she's my daughter too" argument. I just walked away, paid for the clothes I wanted, and went to the car. My husband met us there and he bought the damn thing. I sighed and decided to relent and Todd felt victorious. Fast forward to next week and we're getting ready to go to a family outing. As I'm getting ready, Todd tells me that he would like Chloe to wear the neon green outfit and I told him, okay. About an hour later we're at the door and I ask him where's Chloe and Todd looks at me confused. Since Todd told me he wanted her to wear the outfit, I assumed he'd be the one to dress her in it, but then he reminded me that I was the one who usually dressed the kids. I looked at him and told Todd that if I had to go back and get Chloe ready, I wasn't going to her in that outfit and that he would also have to wash it to make sure it would never go missing. Todd got upset and told me that I was undermining his rights as a father. I told him that he clearly didn't care if our daughter wore that outfit because he was unwilling to dress her himself.
This led to an argument and we didn't go out. Since it wasn't my side of the family, I wasn't too angry, but's been a few days and Todd's still upset. Am I the asshole? ETA. I was away, but now that I'm back and keep seeing the same questions, comments, I'll add some more info.
At the store, Todd wanted me to pay for the neon outfit. Not us, just me. In the 2 years that we have been parents, Todd has only dressed Theo 5 times. Never dresses Chloe. Todd doesn't like neon, doesn't own anything neon. Wouldn't stop him if he tried. If my kids grow up to like neon, they can wear neon, but they're gonna start doing their own laundry. I do the laundry for the kids, myself, and sometimes Todd. Todd never does anyone else's laundry. This feels like the actual problem is way deeper than a onesie. The fact that he is trying so hard to buy and dress your children in clothing items that he knows aren't your preference, and the fact that you are so upset about him buying an item of clothing for the children that isn't to your tastes indicates to me that there are some issues between the two of you that are a lot deeper. I don't know your lives, but the degree to which you are both making this into such a large argument makes me think you have bigger disagreements and frustrations with each other, and you've turned to other outlets like this one rather than addressing whatever else is going on. Good luck, Theo and Chloe. Seems like you guys are gonna need it. Esh. You guys sound exhausting. The only people who don't suck is the poor kids you both decided to bring into this world. I'm not sure if it's plus or minus points for you for saying your daughter is 0.8 years old. Tears of joy. You should both stop trying to express yourself through your children. They are individuals. Don't turn them into little dancing monkeys. Esh. You guys are both being really petty and immature. Sounds like you deserve each other, but I feel bad for the kids.